And we're live. Good stuff. We already lost a couple of people at the table, but good to be here. The final table pretty much just started, and well, it's me, Runchuks, and Schuller Alexei is joining me today. So, hey, very excited about this one.
Yeah, thanks for inviting me. Should be a lot of fun.
Oh yeah, I think so. I mean, what's not to like? It's WSOP. It's a real bracelet that these people are fighting for, and it's PLO. My favorite game, your favorite game, and yeah, I expect a lot of action, a lot of fun. And we have cards up as well, which is going to be something different for me.
You know, yeah, for me too. I've never casted so one of these with like cards up.
Yeah,
it's gonna be awesome.
It's quite a change. You know, you feel spoiled now. Like things are getting easy. We can speculate on what everybody's thinking. By the way, speaking of what everybody's thinking, so let's see. The deep stack is Tio, if I pronounce his name correctly. And he just played a pretty speculative hand, but obviously, you know, he's going to be running the table over, I would assume.
Yeah. By the way, do you know like any of these players? Like I know a couple of them play cash games also. Like I've seen a couple of them at my cash game tables, like the New Zealand or the Australian guy. I'm not sure. The Han Wei Li. I think I've played a little bit with him. And then, but I don't really know anyone else.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I know who Niklaus is, right? Because I think he's one of the regs that, but I don't want to mix up because I think it's one of the Austrian guys who I think I know the screen name of on PokerStars at least, but yeah.
Are you from Austria?
Yeah.
By the way, I forgot.
Am I from Austria? No, I'm not. I'm not from Austria. I'm from Malta.
Well, you are actually from Malta? Yeah, I know you live in Malta. Are you where are you actually from? I don't remember which flag you had before Malta.
Aha, that's the trick, because I'm in Malta already for about 10 years. But originally I'm from Eastern Europe, but usually I hide that fact. But hey, we're all friends here. It's not like a lot of people are watching WSOP final table, right? So special treatment. But so yeah, let's see. We have 8 million chips. Second place, 5 million chips. So Niklaus and Janne, our Austrian and Finnish friends, are in a bit of trouble. They need to. They're probably going to be facing a lot of loose action from the deep stack.
Yeah. And I mean, I'm pretty sure like the middling stacks are getting a lot of ICM pressure on them, at least before the two short stacks go out. Like all the 2.7, 2.8, 2.9 million chip stacks are like I'm gonna have trouble playing hands against bigger stacks, and the big stacks should be playing almost every hand. So it's going to be a fun dynamic.
Oh, absolutely. And I'm just checking also because this is a fun tournament with the factor of the bounty right here, and just checking the bounty numbers. I guess you guys can see them as well. It's in the left side of the display. Pretty interesting situation. What is your take on the bounty situation? Like how much does it change the strategies that people are going to be employing?
Usually at the final table, the pay jumps matter more than the bounties, but there are definitely some big bounties in play. I mean, let's just take a look at the price structure here for a second. So the pay jumps are like right now, 5, 6, 8,000. So they're pretty much like the bounties are worth just as much, if not more, than the pay jumps. Apart from like the shorter stack player who only has a 1.5K bounty on him, like the 5, the 7, the 9K bounties are actually worth more than the pay jump. So that's a little bit of a different dynamic, because usually at the final table, the pay jumps matter less. I mean, the pay jumps matter more than the bounty. So it's going to be interesting how it affects especially like the pre-flop decisions from a lot of the players.
Yeah, especially Craig is going to have quite a price. Well, he has quite a price on his head with the 16,000 bounty. And he's not sitting all that deep, so that's gonna be fun to watch. So anyway, let me check. I'm seeing in the chat that some people are saying my mic levels are a bit too low. Hopefully that was just fixed by me adjusting the knob, so to say. And good to see you all in the chat. Cheesy, Michael, Mosey, KevMath. Amazing. Good to see you guys. So yeah, apparently the mic levels are perfect. Well, we'll see about perfect, but at least we're back in business. 30 seconds to restart. Good stuff. Let's get those cards in the air and do some real commentary.
Yep. So the blinds are going to be, I'm not sure if they're going to change. I guess we're going to continue with 50, 100K. So the average stack is around a little over 30 big blinds, maybe around 40 big blinds if you count like the deeper stacks. So I mean, still a lot of play left, but at the same time we are not like super deep. So this is not going to take forever. Gonna have some decent action here. So for example, I think in Craig's shoes, I would not be opening this ace queen 10-4 suited to the queen because of the huge bounty he has on his head and the fact that he is going to have to fold to 3 bets. I think if this was not a bounty tournament, I would definitely consider opening that hand off like a 28 big blind stack. Would you ever consider opening it, or would you just fold?
Yeah, I think I would be just folding, to be honest, in this situation, because well, we have to remember he has that huge bounty on his head as well, right? 16,000. So people
I was just thinking like without the bounty, like if those under normal conditions.
Without the bounty, still, I think I wouldn't be opening that in that position, in the position that he was in.
Yeah.
So Theo is happy with the kings. He's unlikely to get. Oh, well, he's got a limp. I think he's going to be. Attila is calling. I mean, what do you think about that?
I think it's a little bit too loose. I think, especially since he's up against the cheap player there, I think he can just limp fold. I think would be my line. I think limping is okay. Just because there's no rake, obviously. So, but I don't know anything about the chip leader, so like how aggressive he was. Like if he was isolating very aggressively, I think I would just open fold.
Yeah, that's the problem, right? Because if you are getting a raise every time you limp, it gets a bit dicey. Obviously worked out beautifully for Attila, and he's likely to get the call as well, I think. Kings are hard-pressed to fold here. A bunch of draws missed. Well, by a bunch of draws, I mean, obviously the hearts missed. So yeah, we do see a call, and I think it's a good call. Theo needs the call. Unfortunately for him, it worked out real beautiful for Attila.
I think
Shorty has aces. Nice.
Yeah.
Pot size open. Do you think that's his optimal strategy here.
I think so. He has 10 big blinds, and it's a bounty tournament, so he's pretty likely to get action. I think potting there is the right move. Like, without ICM, the solver usually like pots below 15 big blinds. And we have our first elimination. What do you think about Craig's play? Like,
I think, really don't understand it. I think it's way too loose, really optimistic, and especially because Niklaus doesn't even have the big bounty on his head. He had the smallest bounty of them all. So yeah.
Would you be calling pre-flop?
Not even. I wouldn't even be calling.
Wouldn't even be calling. I mean, King Queen 7 Deuce is a really bad hand against the range that the short stack on a final table is going to be potting off a 10 big blind. Like, it's so dominated by pretty much everything. Like, it's just, I mean, if the bounty was a little bit bigger, I think you kind of have to call, because it's PLO after all. But I'm not sure how experienced Craig is, because I was actually watching like the 2 tables, and I've seen him do some very unconventional plays. But I mean, it's been working for him so far, so who are we to judge him?
Yeah, but still, I'm hard pressed to believe that King Queen 7 Deuce single suited was anything but a fold. But well, like you said, who are we to judge him? Now, kings are obviously, well, perfect results for kings, and actually, can't blame either guy for doing
here
what they
I think
did.
It's very, very standard.
Very standard, yeah.
And would you ever just call the 3-bet? I think like calling the 3-bet and seeing a flop is fine too, because I think there are a couple of boards that he can get away. Actually,
yeah,
I don't know.
It gets really difficult. Like, there's almost no boards you can get away. Yeah, I don't know. I think I would be just pushing as well, just for the fact that it's. Yeah, actually, it's a good question. But we saw that Han basically was really happy to just stick it in real quick. He didn't really think much about the option of just calling it. And what do you think about this open from Bradley pre-flop? Double suited hand.
I think I would limp. I think I would limp with his stack. I think limping is fine. I don't really like raising, especially since he doesn't cover the big blind. So I don't really see a lot of a point of raising. He's not really pushing a big equity or playability edge. But I think it's a good enough hand to limp on the button. I mean, the 4 is a little bit disconnected, but I think it's okay if we're confident in our post-flop abilities.
Yeah, I agree with you. I would be limping as well. And it's interesting what happened on the flop. You see the straight basically got the minimum against the 2 pair. Action shut down
on the river. Straight, I would definitely consider leading some percentage of the time. And I guess if we're not leading, we're check calling, because I think check raising is, I don't know if it really accomplishes all that much.
Yeah, and look at Craig here, trapping with aces.
Yeah, as I said,
know, like that's a great idea in PLO.
A lot of unconventional stuff from Craig. And
Theo's check call makes a lot of sense. Craig obviously is really happy to value bet his 2 pair. Quick check by Theo on the river when the flush comes. And I think Theo played it the way he's supposed to play. He is winning with jacks often enough, so just going for a check call, check it down, absolutely fine. And Cheesy is saying
hand.
that Timmy is actually has 58,000 career winnings on Hendon. So he's been around. He's seen some action.
Yeah. Once again, no 3-bet, right?
Once again, no 3-bet. And once again, I have to say, I don't really like it, but
yeah, with the 30 big blind stacks, ace, like any ace is going to be a 3-bet. Ace, queen, jack, even though it's rainbow, it's definitely a very strong hand. By the way, I don't really love the open with Jack 10 9 8 single. Also, I think that hand is also could be a limp.
I agree with you, but it remains to be seen if people are actually employing that strategy here. So far, we haven't seen any limps from any other position but the small blind.
Yeah.
So perhaps people are not really limping that much on the button. So actually, I'm curious to see if we're going to see any bluffs from Hun here on the river.
Yeah. I am not sure why Attila led the turn. I'm struggling to see what that really accomplishes. Like, was he planning to turn his hand into a bluff on the river with like a shove? Or,
I mean, he has the nut flush blocker, so potentially he was. And you know what? It could have even worked against the specific hand because, they would be chopping otherwise. And obviously, Han went for the bluff, and I really like it. I was expecting him to go for the bluff. Obviously, he was blocking 3 of the board cards, right? The 10, the 9, and the 8.
And he also had the Jack of Hearts for the straight flush blocker.
Exactly. So he has all the key cards for the blocker. And so great play by Han. I'm happy to see that.
Sure. Like, if I had to pick 4 cards out of the deck to bluff in that spot, I would probably pick his exact hand.
Exactly.
And what is going on with the pre-flop flats? I guess here it does make some sense because though they are pretty deep and there are a couple of short stacks, so I actually don't mind the flat here because they're getting a little bit deeper.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree with you. This time I actually also don't mind the call with the aces for all the reasons you've mentioned. And actually, I want to hear your opinion about, because you mentioned the limps from the button that we so far don't see people do. What are your thoughts on the limp on the button in current situation? Like, why would you advise people to do that with some specific hands?
Well, I mean, because we are playing pretty short, so we want to play some hands in position. At the same time, we don't really want to be calling 3-bets with a lot of hands that we want to play, and so basically we're just trying to see a flop with a decent connected hand in position. Also, there's the fact that we are like, our raising size pre-flop is generally fairly small. Like, we're raising 2.2x, maybe even 2x. So the big blind is tempted to continue with a very wide range. So raising doesn't really accomplish all that much. And keeping the stack to pot ratio larger that we achieve with limping actually gives us a lot more maneuverability post flop. Like, we are actually able to play 3-street game post flop, even though we might have started with 20 or 30 big blinds. So it's just, I think, beneficial for a lot of the buttons range.
Yeah, all valid reasons, and I agree with your assessment there. And by the way, we saw another unconventional play, to put it mildly, by Craig, who opened on the cutoff. I believe it was 10-7-6-6 or something along those lines. So yeah, Craig has a lot of imagination, I have to say.
Did you see the fold he made?
To be honest, I didn't. What was the fold?
He had ace 10 9 6 double.
Wait a minute. Who folded that?
Craig.
Really? The hand before he opens 10-7-7-6 and then he folds that.
Yeah, I have no idea what, like, is he using some sort of randomizing tool for?
Well, that's a hell of a randomizing tool, I tell you. If he hit the very unlikely thing of having to fold that hand, wow. And by the way, we just got the blind increase, so it's the 120,000 is the big blind right now.
Okay, so we're playing a little bit shorter. Janne is getting short, and I think so far he has played perfectly on the final table.
Yeah, super tight. Obviously played his kings. Yeah, pretty much perfectly.
Yeah. Interesting check back. I would like to see a small c bet by Hun here. I think there are a lot of draws that he can dominate, and blocking a 10, blocking 2 queens, I don't think he's going to be facing a lot of check raises.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
And now on the turn, I would actually probably check, because I don't think we're getting value from that much. So it's kind of an interesting way to play the hand. At least I would reverse the actions.
Yeah, wow. Janne folded kings. I actually like it.
Wait, I didn't see.
It was pretty weak.
King
6-3. Yeah.
Rainbow or something.
That I didn't catch, unfortunately. Yeah. I'm quite used to the 4-color deck, and yeah, didn't catch that. Yeah, but even if we assume it's single suited, it's kind of close, and you can't blame Janne. What is the pay jump right now? What are we looking at?
I think the pay jump was like 6,000. Let me check. I have the payouts right here. 4,500 actually.
Okay.
I mean, it's sizable. I don't mind it. What do you think about the King Queen 10-8 double on the button by Tio? I think it's okay to just flat there because he was up against the chip leaders open.
Yeah, sounds all right. As you said, there's still 3 street game potentially with these stack sizes. So yeah, and actually, I see that we have a couple new people in the chat, and so I want to say hey to Gulags, Coffee Attack, and by the way, we have GTO commentator himself, Henry's in the chat. Good to see you here, man. And yeah, Coffee Attack, it is the middle of the night in EU, so it's a fun experience for me.
Yeah, for me, it's a little bit more reasonable time. It's like 15 to 11 p.m., which is fine.
Yeah, my original plan was actually to really switch to the morning schedule and just start waking up real early. And I thought I'm going to start doing it on Monday. So that's like 4 days ago. Needless to say, never happened. Never managed. So, we'll see if going forward, because obviously I'm going to be commentating a couple more events of the PLO final tables here on WSOP. So actually that schedule would be quite beneficial for me, but I'm not there yet.
I mean, the WSOP schedule is actually like working perfectly for me. Like most of the tournaments start at 2 p.m. So as you see, like the final table is at 11 p.m., which is fine. Now the only thing left to do is just make a couple of final tables.
Yeah, well, wouldn't that be fun? If one of the next events that I'm commentating, you will be at the final table, and then I can say, hey, somebody is limping on the button here.
I mean, okay, so what's been, not much has been happening. A couple of small pots. From what I've seen, they were played fairly standardly.
Yeah. So far, I mean, Craig is standing out as the player who has a lot of imagination so far. Han is quite on the looser side as well, to be honest, from what we've seen.
He has a lot of chips, though, I guess, so he likes to splash around a little bit. And I'm pretty sure Han is actually a high stakes player, so maybe this isn't even that much money for him.
Yeah. Fighting for the glory, fighting for that beautiful bracelet.
I like the river bet by Han. I think it's one of the hands we could potentially bluff on the river.
Yeah, I agree. So far, 2 for 2 in terms of the quality of the bluffs from Han. So good to see. Good to see some good poker being played on the final table. And Coffee Attack, thank you for subscribing. And I like the fact that Coffee Attack is saying, please use the Prime sub for the coffee budget. I never thought of having a coffee budget, but I drink a lot of coffee. You know what? I'm gonna put it aside, and a new thing in my life, I'm gonna have a coffee budget now.
Wow. Why did Theo just fold Queen Jack Jack 9 for like 1/10 of the pot? And interesting. And now I think Craig's gonna, I guess it's gonna go check, or wow, just shoves. Would you shove kings on the turn here?
I don't see the reason why to shove kings here. He is blocking a 10. You know, that's the thing. He doesn't only have the kings. He's blocking the 10.
Yeah, it's I don't really see a reason to shove, because I don't think we're really folding out any ace. Like because first of all, any ace has either a 2 pair or a gutter. So like it would have to be some very like maybe ace 8-8-4 or something like that.
Yeah, I don't like it because, well, especially him blocking the 10. You know, what is he actually gonna get to fold?
I mean, maybe some equity, some gutters.
Yeah, but he does have the kings, right? So he has the blockers to a lot of gutters. So that hand unfortunately didn't make sense. So, oh well, Attila is out. We're down to 5 people. Oh, Bradley is thinking about something with his double-suited beautiful hand. I think 3-betting would have been too optimistic, so I'm happy to see that he just called.
I think it's just a very standard call. I would have heavily considered peeling the flop with a pair of 5s, backdoor straight draw, backdoor flush draw for 1/3 pot bet. Like you see these folds and like you just know how profitable the 1/3 is, right? Like because people are supposed, like in theory, he's supposed to continue with a very big portion of his range, and a pair of 5s with some nice backdoors should definitely be in there, but he didn't even think about it. Like he just check folded right away.
Yeah. That's the thing. A lot of, actually the action is really quick. Like people are not taking much time post flop. Everybody's acting quick.
Yeah.
Which sometimes is not a good thing. Sometimes you're better off taking some time and thinking about it.
Especially on a final table when there's so much money on the line.
Exactly. And it's televised as well, in a way, you know, so take your time, guys.
Yeah, let us discuss how bad you are.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding, of course.
Exactly. Isn't that
they
fun?
are at the final table and we are not. So
well, at least I have an excuse not to be at the final table, right?
Yeah, you didn't play the tournament. I unfortunately did play and busted miserably. I would definitely consider bluffing with Teo's hand, although actually blocking this many hearts probably not the best idea. I don't know.
So let's double check the situation now. Craig has a huge bounty on his head. 24,000, 25,000 basically. He has been the more active person at the table.
Wait, is it 2012 or 25? I thought it's like the number is how much you can win of that person. So that's like actually the number that you would be getting for eliminating him, right?
I think so, yeah.
Okay, so
you thought it's just half? No. I think that's actually the bounty. Like the other 24 is probably in his pocket already. At least that's how I'm reading this. Maybe
wait, he has 12,600, right?
Oh, on top of him, of course. Yeah. Wow, I was looking at the place at the on the left on that table.
Okay.
Complete misread by me. So yeah, 12,000, of course. 12,000 is the bounty on his head. Still huge.
Yeah.
And by the way, guys, I hope you don't mind that I didn't put a chat on the layout. So we're just basically seeing the table. I thought let's give the full focus to the table, the full attention that it deserves. After all, this is the final table of WSOP. So yeah, I hope you guys don't mind. That's the layout I went for.
Wait, did Craig 3-bet pre-flop? Yeah. But he like min raised.
Wow, min raised. Well, it worked out beautifully for him. Look at this.
Yeah. I was also a very loose open by Teo. I guess he's going for the bounty of the players in the blinds, but I think that hand is a little bit too wide to go for bounties also. King Jack 9-5, was it? Interesting.
All right, Schuller, you know what? I'm going to step away for a minute. I just need to set something up here real quick. So go ahead and take over.
Okay. So here Han is raising a small blind with a decently strong hand. I think it's a good move. Limping would also be okay. Limp calling with 3 of a suit. And now I think we're going to get some fireworks because I don't think Han is folding. I imagine Yanni is going to pot, and I think Han is going to call. I mean, calling or raising. Okay, so he decided to just stick it in, which I think is fine because Yanni only has around like 13 big blinds. King, Queen, Queen, Jack, Rainbow is not like a super great hand, but I mean, it does well enough against like the Ace King 10-4s that Yanni might play this way. So with the bounty, with the pay jump, with Han having a deep stack, not risking a big portion of his stack for it, I think it's totally fine to play it the way he did. Coffee, I live close to Toronto, like in the suburbs of Toronto. Okay, so Craig raising and taking it down from the small. And this hand, so no one really has a hand. I guess 10-5-5-4 double is the best looking hand out there, and it wins the pot.
Awesome. I'm back.
Okay, we might see some fireworks here. I think actually Han is probably just going to flat with these aces against the chip leader. The ICM pressure that the chip leader can apply on the second biggest stack is just too much. So he just wants to play it passively. And I think Han should check again here most of the time. I don't think he's getting 2 streets of value from much.
Wow, look at Craig.
I mean, pretty big sizing.
That's the problem here, right? Pretty big sizing. After the flop action, I don't really know if that sizing makes all that much sense, and it's obviously not gonna work. So hey, and that on that queen, Craig can actually get pretty creative and potentially make another sizable bet. So let's see if that happens. Nope, check. Decided to give up, and good for him.
I think after the opponent calls such a big bet on the turn, like he almost doesn't have a folding range exploitatively.
Yeah, like, pretty much. He
has kings or aces there or a 9 every single time.
Yeah, that's why I was worried that Craig might get creative with the queen, because, well, his hand specifically is also blocking a lot of cards around the 9. And then once he blocks the queen as well, and the queen is on the board, you know, the likelihood of Han having queens is lower, and he's just basically looking at kings and aces. And luckily he realized that really it doesn't make sense to bluff there, because, probably Han is almost never folding.
Yeah, the problem, like, his hand is in theory probably one of the best bluffing candidates, like the queen, jack, 10, 8. In practice, unfortunately, it doesn't really work that often. So good on him for recognizing that and giving up. I think it was correct.
What do you think about Theo's call here on the button? And really quick call as well. He basically just snap called.
2.5x. I think it's close. Like, I think with a king high suit, I would be calling for sure. With a jack high suit is a little bit marginal, but I think it can't be that bad, to be honest. Do you not like it?
No. I was just curious about what you think, because I think it's close, right? It's close. It's probably a bit marginal, but we have to remember that it's Han who opened, and he is one of the big stacks, and he has been quite active. So against his range, it's perfectly fine.
Yeah, we can see him at almost 50 VPIP, so he's been playing pretty much half the hands, and King, Jack, Jack 8 singles doing pretty well against 50% range.
Oh, wow.
I like the bet. I like the bet. I mean, I'm not sure what he's representing from the small blind on that board, but just taking it at face value, the bet is totally fine.
Wow, this is not a hand I would expect him to open, but Janne is obviously playing super tight.
Yeah, Yanni is knitting it up. Like, he's just like in a shutdown mode. So I actually Craig is definitely thinking a lot about like every single hand. He's not autopiloting at all, and it's I mean, obviously you want to be doing that on a final table. Like, you want to be playing as focused as possible, like as close to your A game as possible. And Craig is, I mean, he might be lacking like the theoretical knowledge, like the knowledge of solvers and everything like that, but he definitely came to play. Like, you can see that he's a very good player.
Yeah, well, definitely a thinking player. Yeah, definitely considers his decisions, definitely trying to use the situation to his advantage. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. It's great to see when players like him have the deeper stack because it's going to be more creative. It's going to be more fun for us to rail here. Because obviously, if Craig was sitting here as a shorty, well, we wouldn't see much to write home about.
Oh, a very disciplined fold by Han there on the river.
Yeah, well, it's interesting, though, that he made that fold, considering that Craig is active. I wonder how many of these people at the table are actually watching the stream. It would be to their advantage.
For sure. I mean, there is a 30 minutes delay, but they would still get some idea about the style their opponents are utilizing.
Because the same thing that happens in the actual WSOP live events, people would be watching or having some friends watching the stream, watching the TV coverage and giving them some tips about, how your opponents are playing. It's all normal. It's all part of the game.
So here, I think this is a very decent candidate to check back, especially against the small blinds calling range that should contain a bunch of king-king. And on the turn against this sizing, I think this probably is just a fold. I mean, not sure. Han does make the call.
And he gets there on the river.
I mean, these are spots that I know like the solver would call 100% of the time, but I'm just so scared that I could be drawing dead in spots like that. Like calling with ace high without really potential to bluff when we don't hit.
Look at this. Craig found a pretty bad timing for his creativity. And Bradley is thinking, finally, I have an awesome hand. And Janne is thinking, I have an awesome hand. That's the problem, right? Craig basically might make Janne, who's sitting here with the best hand, he might make him fold. He does fold. Wow, isn't that funny? Whoa, Theo is getting quite out of line.
What?
That was weird. Man, what did just happen? We saw kings fold pre-flop, the best hand folded pre-flop, which is understandable, which is probably a good decision. And then we see a king high single suited rundown type of thing. Get it in.
Just shove.
Yeah, wow. Interesting. This is going to be one of those highlight worthy hands, First of all, what the hell was Craig thinking? No idea. And
I think he just likes his buttons.
He likes his buttons. I guess so. Bolzen is saying he wants that bounty.
I mean, why did Theo shove 4 million chips with king high though? I think that's like the because usually Craig should not be folding anything to that action. Did Han just check raise his hand on the flop? What, man, what's going on?
Wow, exactly. What's going on? You know what? This is how the final table of WSOP should look like.
Yeah.
That's what I like to see. That's what I like to say.
Super creative.
Exactly, right? I like to see plays which make me kind of scratch my head and say, what did just happen? And all of the players playing really fast, kind of refreshing. No tanking, everybody's on it. In many ways, this is how poker should be.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, Han's just not stopping.
And Bolzen saying that it's great to have cards upstream. I agree. Isn't it amazing to have a cards upstream in a online environment. It's awesome.
Yeah, it's absolutely unbelievable. Yeah, it's so cool.
So Coffee Attack is asking, how did we do in the tournament? Well, I didn't play.
I played. I did what I made one entry, and I got 50% rake back. I earned $500 in bounties, and then busted.
Oh, well, but you know what? I'm actually happy that you busted. Sorry for that. But I'm happy that you busted because now we have a chance to commentate together, and I was looking forward to it. But obviously, if you were at the table, that would have been a different type of fun. I could have,
and I would have
needled you all of the time. That would be fun as well.
I might have broken my table if I was involved in some of these hands, where someone is 3-betting me with deuce 3-4-7 single, and then
wow, look at the snap limp raise by Theo. Snapped it.
Well, I mean, very reasonable hand for it.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. It's just the timing is interesting. These people really play fast. Which is cool, not trying to go for the meta, not trying to balance it out and such. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Good to see. And Michael and Coffee Attack are basically saying that, hey, isn't super creative equal to Dunkfest?
Not necessarily. Non-standard is not always incorrect. And we don't really know the correct play, quote unquote, all the time, because there are a lot of different factors that apply, that can change decision making at the final table. There's definitely a lot of things happening. Wow, this might become an interesting hand with Bradley flopping blockers and Theo obviously flopping the nut straight, going for a half-pot c-bet here.
Well, Bradley just is sticking to being quite tight and straightforward. Can't blame him. And
interesting. I don't think I would be able to make that fold. I would probably just call.
Yeah, well, at least call would have been reasonable. But we so far seen Bradley being really, really straightforward pre-flop and post-flop as well.
Yes, for sure.
And Bolzin is saying he doesn't have enough stack to do something with his blockers. To do something in terms of bluffing with the check raise on the flop is pretty difficult, but check calling, and then potentially if the turn goes check, he can take it down on the river. That is one option that he clearly decided that, well, I'm not going for that.
I'm a fairly loose open on the button here.
Yeah, just as I was praising him, or rather just indicating that, hey, this guy is playing tight, and he sort of went for the other thing. And by the way, did you see that Han, it's the second time he's showing his cards, right?
Oh, did he show his cards?
I think he showed his cards. I think that's what happened.
Wow. He's just having fun, I guess.
Yeah.
Maybe having a beer, chilling with some friends, having fun. That's the way to do it, man.
Yeah, that's the way to win a bracelet, huh?
And he's at the moment a lot closer than anyone else is.
And so far, actually, from all the plays that we've seen, his plays have been pretty good for the most part. We saw 2 pretty good bluffs. Overall, no fancy stuff. And that being said, he plays 54% pre-flop.
He has been getting a lot of very playable hands, though. He had aces 5 or 6 times, some other very playable hands. So, he hasn't really been getting that out of line. This is a fairly reasonable hand to raise on the button. Once again, I might consider limping it, but he's just not that kind of guy.
Yeah. Nobody seems to be that kind of guy. We haven't seen a limp on the button yet.
Ooh, this is gonna get. I think Teo might have to call down here, or at least call turn and then consider folding river. It's going to be a
tough to fold the river.
Yeah, tough one to get away from.
Absolutely. Coffee Attack is asking if WSOP will mail the bracelet.
I have no idea.
Me neither, but I would assume so. Why not? You get the bracelet. This is a WSOP event. Why wouldn't you get the bracelet?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you would get it. Okay, let's see if Teo will be able to make this fold. Snap fold.
Wow.
And to be honest, it's probably good. Like, I don't think Han would be just going for a crazy bluff like that. Because, I mean, it is in the realm of possibilities for Teo to have a 9 there and just be trapping. So I'm not sure if Han is crazy enough to go for a bluff like that.
Just going to put out a quick tweet letting people know that we're down to the final 5. And things are heating up. Are you going to be playing other events as well?
Well, probably all PLO ones.
Must be nice to live in Canada.
Yeah, the schedule works out very nicely. I think the next one is the 2,500 one, I think in 2 days. I have to check the schedule, but I think it's like on the 26th or 25th.
Yeah, I think on 26th.
Oh, aces versus kings. Oh, I don't think Craig should be 3-betting, but you never know with him, and that is pretty decent flop. So the 2 last hands Han has played, he had quads on both of them. That's how I want to run on my final table.
Yeah. Not only that, but he's also a deeper stack. He's playing 52% pre-flop, so people probably don't give him much credit for having a hand very often. So must be nice.
Must be nice. Now he has a nut flush also, and he blocks a 3. So what can his opponent even have? Like, pretty tough. I think like you just gotta bet small and hope your opponent river the flush with kings and makes a crying call. But Han's getting greedy. Wow. Craig just calls him down.
Oh, wow. Well, this is now getting to that interesting part. You know, when I was saying that we won't see much creativity from Craig when he is short. So let's see what happens.
Let's see.
He is really short. And Bradley, obviously kings, no brainer.
Yeah. He is the shortest stacks, or
no,
I guess
Craig.
Actually,
I think Craig is now the shorter.
Is now shorter. Yeah, but still, I mean, I would still be going with kings. I don't think we can make this fold.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'm not sure what Teo is thinking about getting 2-1.
Oh, a lot of outs for the river. Let's see that card peel. Come on. Oh boy. Imagine that Theo is probably thinking yes, but that is the flush.
That is the flush. So Bradley doubles up.
So you see, it kind of paid off for Bradley to be so passive earlier on. Everybody else was being quite well. We actually forgot about Janne because he has been anything but aggressive.
Yeah, he's been a little bit absent so far.
Managed to preserve his stack though, so good for him.
Yeah. He did double up once and then kind of blinded down a little bit. And I mean, he's making some pretty tight folds, and I guess it's fine with the ICM pressure. But I don't think I would I don't have that kind of patience in me. For example, like I would have definitely played some hands at this point that he has folded.
Yeah. Well, Janne is going to play this one. And by the way, people in the chat were pointing out that his previous fold on the small blind was really, really nitty because Janne had King, Queen, Jack 8 there. Blind versus blind, and he just outright folded. That was quite nitty. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Both flopped the same. Obviously, Han has a redraw.
So in Yanni's shoes, I would definitely be checking here because that seems like a board that Han is going to shove with any 4 cards.
Yeah, good read. Good read. Jan agrees with you. Let's see what Han decides to do. Is he gonna... Oh, he just goes 4 pot. Easy game. Let's see, the redraw, 64%. Nope, that's a chop. We're still 5. Wouldn't that be brutal for Jan? I mean, first of all, he's probably thinking, I have aces, fantastic. And then he flops the straight. And all he gets is just a chop.
Yeah, and he actually gets it in pretty bad.
He gets it in pretty bad. Well, yeah, as bad as you can with that hand, basically.
Or almost, yeah.
Well, almost, yeah. Look at Craig. Ooh. Picked up the hand in the right moment.
Any flush? No, that's a black card. That's quads. Jackpot at the around $1,000 at the 10-20 games on GG. Have you been playing cash games on GG? Do you know what I'm talking about?
I know what you're talking about. I know what you're talking about. I haven't been playing much cash games on GG. And actually, I haven't been playing much lately at all. I've been so busy with a lot of stuff. I took a vacation last week.
Nice.
Which felt really weird. Traveling with the COVID situation, pretty special, memorable, definitely a memorable trip. Look at Bradley. One tight player plays at the other tight player. Bradley's probably playing his image and knowing the fact that Janne is super tight.
Yeah, like Janne is just so super tight. Yeah, I think opening any 4 cards in Bradley's shoes is probably going to show a profit.
Absolutely, especially with his image as well. Like Bradley was super tight as well throughout, so he chose his spot perfectly, and Janne did make a tightish fold.
Yeah, I mean that's like a type of fold that I would not be able to make. Like ace 10, 7-4, blind on blind, suited to the ace. I would just call here.
Yeah, I wouldn't be able to fold as well. And listen, we actually have some tickets to give away.
Awesome.
What are we going to do? Have any ideas?
Not really. I'm not sure.
All right, guys in the chat, do you guys have any ideas? Who has an idea? First of all, who wants a ticket? It's kind of a silly question, right? But still, what is going to be the fun way of giving you guys a ticket? Hey, blinds are up. Janne, really, really short. Let's see if he manages to preserve his stack for something. Oh, I like DFS. His approach is pretty cool. I'll take it, thanks. That's the way to go.
That's the way to go. Okay, so is Yanni gonna be folding this one too? Like, no way, right? He's the shortest stack.
He's the shortest stack. I mean, this is not the time to fold anymore. The blinds moved up. If you're gonna fold this, what are you waiting for, right?
Yeah, but I guess he should have folded.
Yeah, hindsight. Well, at least he's not gonna lose much money on this flop. I mean, it's unlikely that he gets creative with his gutter.
Yeah,
so that's all good.
Han's not gonna give him a chance to get creative.
Right. How about this? How about we give away, because we have two types of tickets to give away. There's the one ticket to a $50 satellite for a tournament, a $50 satellite to a tournament. So that's one ticket. How about that one? Oh, Jesus. Sorry about that. Somebody's calling me 5 in the morning. Imagine that.
Yeah, who's calling you at 5 in the morning? I was just gonna ask. And by the way, I think this is gonna be the last we see of Yanni. Wow, 9 on the river. Ooh, that must feel nice.
That must feel nice. Absolutely. So it's good to see that we didn't lose Yanni, so to say, because we're still 5. Because I want to give the bigger ticket, the $50 ticket, to, how about we play a game of try to guess who's going to win this event. And then we're going to, obviously, if, several of you choose the winner, then we're going to make a draw and pick one of you up.
I'm not sure with the current table situation. I'm not sure if that's... maybe it's better to ask who gets second. Because I think because there's like an obvious answer. And
but that's the thing, if everybody chooses Han, well, we're just gonna randomly pick a winner, and it's a ruffle, right?
Yeah.
And then we have a couple smaller tickets to give away for some other funny stuff.
Okay.
Like, for example, what Bolzen is suggesting, a ticket for the next bust, and that's going to be a $10 ticket to an event on GG Poker. I'm just trying to figure out what am I supposed to do with... all right. Oh, but they already know the result. They're saying, Jesus, forget all that I said. They already know the result.
That's no good.
30-minute delay. Yeah, that's no good. What a stupid idea by me. Because I'm obviously doing it the proper way. I want to be excited about this. I'm not checking what happens. So I'm living it live. As is Coffee Attack, for example, because isn't that the best way to watch a tournament? Don't know the results, but
for sure. No spoilers, man. I hate when people like spoil movies and books for me. It's like,
yeah, guys, please don't spoil it for us, because some of us are actually full of excitement, and now I'm thinking, what does it mean? Does it mean that the tournament is actually over in 30 minutes from now? Or does it mean that we just know who is the next who bust? No, because maybe we just know who is the next to bust.
Maybe.
Yeah.
And so I'll be right back while we're on break.
Yeah, a 3-minute break. See you right back. And But yeah, Rockmoon, thanks for pointing it out, because it was a dumbass idea. I completely forgot about the 30-minute delay. So yeah, thanks for pointing it out. And Coffee Attack is now getting tricked into believing that the tournament ends in 30 minutes. I mean, it's very, very possible, but we don't know that yet. So come on, guys, give me some ideas about how are we gonna give the tickets away? I mean, first of all, let's do the simplest thing. One ticket, the $10 value to... Well, I'm gonna draw one of you, whoever retweets and likes my latest tweet, for example. That's easy, because we are basically... The latest tweet was about that we're doing this, that the final table is on right now. So go ahead and retweet and like, and let me know here in the chat that you did it. I'm going to pick one randomly. If you want the $10 ticket to the satellite.
Okay, I'm back.
And by the way, the satellite is into the 400 WSOP bracelet event. PLO version of Colossus kind of thing, right? So that's going to be the one with a pretty big prize, and yeah, that's going to be fun.
Did you play that one?
No.
I actually... So today in the morning, I finally made it to day 2 on like a super short stack. I think I have like 7 big blinds. Right. It was my 7th entry into the tournament, I believe.
Right.
Yeah. So I'm probably not even going to make it to the money.
So the Rockmoon just retweeted. Good stuff.
Cool.
And by the way, I need to know your GG Poker account name. I think. I don't know if you should tell it to me publicly, or... I really haven't thought this through, right? I'm not really used to giving tickets away. That's the reality of it. But yeah, we'll figure it out.
Probably in a private message would be...
Balls thinking is signing up to Twitter worth $10? I don't know. I don't know. We're probably going to have other giveaways as well. But yeah, the Rockmoon, listen, send me a whisper, with your screen name on GG, so that, in case you win the ticket, that we know how to find you and who gets the ticket.
Oh, a lot of outs for Hunt here. Is he going to get there? Wow, that's a 4. And Hunt takes it down, takes another scalp.
Wow.
With straight, another 7.5k bounty and a nice pay jump. And he's just kind of allowing everyone else to fight for the second place.
Pretty much. Yeah, it's the second place.
Ooh, you're just spotting it with the 7 high.
Yeah.
Nice, I like it.
Yeah. Interesting plays by Han. And you know what? That previous board, I kind of wish it was slower. The flop, the turn, the river. I would love to sweat those cards, because there were so many outs, and Han got there on the river. Well, at least we have that river peel. That I really like.
Yeah, I really like that. I mean, it can be like frustrating when you're actually part of the hand, because I don't know, I kind of just want to get it over with most of the time when I'm in the hand, yeah, it's definitely a very nice feature.
Oh, absolutely.
I think it adds to the excitement. So here, I think Craig kind of has to defend, and I'm guessing, wow, I think Bradley has to fold. That's very interesting hand to pick as a just Because I'm guessing he's bluffing.
That's the thing. We have to kind of figure out, is he bluffing or is he value betting? It's pretty hard to... I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. I mean, what's going on through his mind?
I think he's bluffing. I think he's trying to get Bradley off aces. And he succeeded. And I mean, but not a lot of aces are actually folding there. Like, it's just Bradley had the infamous ace deuce 3. By the way, I found out who Yanne is. He's actually, I think we both know who he is on both Stars and GG.
All right, do tell.
Plays like, I think his nickname is Fructu.
Fructu, I think he plays, yeah, that rings a bell.
He plays like 200 Zoom. He's a very tight regular.
Regular, no kidding. Like he's living up to his image right now.
Yeah, he's definitely in lockdown mode. But I mean, for like he plays $1, $2 as his main stake, I believe, at least. So I mean, this is definitely a ton of money for anyone, but for a 200 PLO regular for sure, like even more so. Like I do believe Han, for example, plays 200, 400 games, or at least like 50, 100 games. So it's not as much pressure, I would assume.
Yeah, but I'm sure he's still really happy to fight for that bracelet, though.
Of course. Anyone
that piece of metal
is
precious. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And the money is nothing to scoff at, you know.
Oh, yeah. I mean, right now we're looking at 30,000, right? 30,000 plus whatever the bounty that somebody might get. I mean, the biggest bounty right now is still Craig.
Ooh, Ruben's going for it with a fairly marginal hand. I guess he's realizing that Han is opening 100% of hands and decided to gamble. And Han actually does not call getting 2-1. And he would actually have been a favorite, I think. Or like pretty much flipping. And here we see our first limp on the button, which is something I was waiting for, and this is a very nice hand to do it. Unfortunately, it's probably not going to work out for him because he flops very strongly and basically gets coolered.
Yeah, and that's the thing. If he opened pre-flop, Han might have folded. Well, depending on the size.
Probably not. Yeah, unless he pots it, I don't think Han is folding.
Yeah, against the min open, he's not folding. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Hey, we're down to 4. We're down to 3. We're down to 3. There's 30-minute delay not only on the stream. There's also a 30-minute delay for me. It's the middle of the night. So I'm slow to catch up. Listen, let's figure out a way to give away that $50 ticket, the precious ticket, the ticket to the Colossus, basically the Colossus equivalent of PLO. It's a $1 million guarantee tournament, and you get a $50 satellite ticket to that. Now, the question is, how do you get it? What do we want people to do? And the Rockmoon mentioned, usually people have a bot to do it. Well, I don't. Next time I will. Next time I'm streaming, I will have some sort of bot. But right now, I ain't got one. So let's think about it. I don't know. What do you think?
Well, I mean, there is not that many people here. So let's just see who wants it and then just do a random function.
You know what? Let's go for that. Everybody who is still awake, just alert us. Tell us, I want the $50 ticket. Write it in the chat. Send me your screen name on GG, one way or another. Whisper or in the chat or send me a DM on Twitter. And then we're going to raffle it and somebody's going to get it. And because I don't have a bot, we're going to actually do the raffle, I guess, after the stream. I'm just going to do it probably like I'm actually going to take pen and paper, 2 hats or 1 hat. Why 2 hats? 1 hat and just, pull the names out of the hat. How about that? And nobody's going to see me do it either. So this is going to be pretty fun. But look at Janne. You know what? The guy knitted it out the whole table, the whole time. And now the next payout is 42,000.
I mean, he definitely his strategy worked out for him. Of course, he did have to win, I think, 3 pre-flop all-ins, which is never easy in PLO. But, I mean, he always had the better hand, so who are we to judge him? I wonder if Hun is going to c-bet. I mean, it's a very good board for his opening range. But he decides to go for a check back. I think Han is going to try to bluff the river, and I'm not sure if Janne is going to call with ace-king. I think you kind of have to call with ace-king at this point. But I'm not sure. Yes, 1/3. I think you just gotta click the call button. Also, since Han is not really representing that much, I guess ace deuce, ace 5, ace 10 maybe, those type of hands.
Yeah, Janne does make the call.
Good for him. Oh, big hand for Craig here on the button. He goes for the min raise, and he's definitely going to get action. Yeah. Ooh, and Han flops a big hand. I think all the money might just go in here. Craig decides to go for a check back. Very disciplined. I actually don't mind it.
Well, he definitely likes that turn.
Yeah, it's interesting. I would have been tempted to just shove the turn, to be honest.
Really? Well, I don't know. Gets kind of tricky.
Yeah, without blocking a pair, it's not really amazing.
Yeah.
Doesn't really accomplish that much. There are a lot of draws there, but I guess flatting there is the way to go. And Han takes another one down with a very nice bluff. Wow, that was a ace 7-6-4 suited to the ace. I mean,
it was suited to the 7, I believe.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I must have missed that. Yeah, it was suited to the 7. Yeah, then I like the fold. Suited to the ace, I think I would once again probably limp or raise. I think you can definitely do both with that hand.
Yeah, it's good to be back on Twitch. I actually was away for, I believe, 2 weeks because obviously I had my holiday and then some other things were going on. So I wasn't streaming at all. And now, after 2 weeks away to stream the WSOP final table cards up coverage, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, for sure. It's been a fun final table, and it's pretty short.
Yeah, absolutely. And quite memorable. It's actually, some of the hands are highlight worthy for sure. And it's good to see some creativity and,
Yeah, that hand with like King, Queen, Jack 9 versus random 4 on the button, and then Ace, Queen, Queen, Jack with like another player folding Ace, King, King is just crazy. Like I'm gonna remember that one.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. And of course, we're going to put out some highlights on YouTube, and also probably put a lot of the final table coverage on YouTube in general, because obviously, a lot of people are not watching at this time of the day in Europe. That's not even 6 a.m. yet. So it's not surprising that we don't have a huge audience.
Yeah. Oh, Craig and Yanni are neck and neck here for the second spot. Is Yanni just going to fold this one too? It would be consistent with what he did so far, yeah.
Hey, look at Rockmoon. He came in second in the PLO Opener micro event today. Congratulations, man.
Congratulations.
Bolzen's saying that at a different time we would get more viewers. That's for sure, but the thing is, 30-minute delay is better than like 6-hour delay, right? So let's just stick it out. And of course, this is going to be viewed on YouTube by hopefully many. And guess what? They're not going to be participating in the the lottery for the tickets. So you guys are in a good place here.
Interesting hand as both players flop a piece. I think I would be checking back in Craig's shoes. I'm not sure I like it because I really would hate to face a check raise here. And I think Han actually has a decent hand for check raising. Wow, Craig just doesn't think about it, just sticks it in. I guess he has 40% equity, but I mean, I wouldn't be happy.
Yeah, neither would I. And
Han takes another scalp.
Wow, look at Janne. The being tight pays off.
Yeah, he just had to fold some king highs in the small blind a couple times, and the money just came to him.
Yeah, some king highs, some ace highs. Wow. And how funny to see that potentially the winner was playing 58% of his hands pre-flop, whereas Janne was playing 12. What a huge gap between those two guys.
For sure. It just shows how different types of strategies can be profitable in poker. It's just such a complex game.
Yeah. And you know what? This event is actually pretty cool. I quite enjoyed because, well, first of all, we have the bounty on the heads. And that should change the strategies quite a bit. Because you remember, Craig had like 12,000 or close to 13,000 on his head at one point, whereas Janne still has only 3.
Yeah, you can just tell that Janne has been like one of the shortest stack the whole tournament, probably. Hasn't really made that many bounties.
So guys, considering that we are heads up here, just everybody let me know your GG Poker screen names one way or another. I already mentioned all the possible ways, which are, well, send me a whisper here on Twitch, send me a DM on Twitter, or just put it in the chat if you want. And I'll figure out, because I have some tickets to give away, and I'll figure out the way to do it. And it's gonna be better the next time I'm commentating, because I'm gonna think about it beforehand. This time I didn't really prepare for it, which it's unfortunate.
That was a very tight fold by Han in the big blind.
Yeah, A7 deuce though.
It's not a great hand.
It's not a great hand. Yeah, and he's probably thinking, you know what? Right now he is heads up. There's no more reason to push the table around because, well, he's only heads up, and he's heads up against a very tight guy. So just picking his spots.
It's very, very smart thinking, actually.
Yeah, because he knows Janne is not gonna stand up and leave. These guys are fighting for the bracelet and, probably waiting it out, not doing anything silly is the best strategy for Han right now.
Wow, he goes for the ISO with the jack high, just applying pressure where it seems appropriate.
Yeah, I like the way he plays. So far, we've seen a lot of interesting good plays by Han. So, well, assuming that he wins this bracelet, well deserved, I think. From all the players at the table, he definitely showed a lot of creativity and
for sure
made a
he
lot
played
of
extremely well.
Yeah, well, obviously, also getting quads every other hand helps, but we can't take anything away from the way he played.
Of course, fortune favors the bold.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'm assuming Han is going to go for the bluff here with his blockers. Very reasonable. I like it a lot. I like the sizing. Kind of risking a very small amount. At the same time, he's putting Janne's whole stack at risk, even with that was 1/3 pot bet. So very, very nice.
Exactly. And let's not forget, there's basically the bracelet in the pot, right? Pretty much every pot for Janne, it's like for him, it's a tiny chance at the bracelet, but still, there is a chance. And the more he folds pre-flop, the smaller that chance gets.
Yeah, okay, I think Janne is taking his stand, and unfortunately, Han is going to show him the bad news that he has like a dominating hand here. And I think, unless an 8 comes, this is going to be it. And the river is... it's a red card. It can't be an 8. It is a 5. And congratulations to Han. Amazingly played final table. There was never a doubt in my mind that he's going to take this one. Kudos to Janne. I think he also played it extremely well at the final table. He stuck to his strategy and managed to get himself a very, very nice payday.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And speaking of very nice payday, look at this. 160, basically 62,000 for Han. And the
not
bracelet.
Bad for a $1,000 tournament. And the golden bracelet, man. Wow.
Absolutely. And awesome. That was great stuff. I really enjoyed it, and definitely well deserved by Han. Definitely well deserved. Great stuff. And what a fun event. And it's great. You know what? COVID or no COVID, WSOP is still here this year. People are getting bracelets, and that's awesome. Good to see. And some quality poker today.
Yeah. Poker still definitely going strong.
Yeah, absolutely.
WSOP is happening.
Absolutely. And so entertaining as well. I mean, it's great to see that people are playing fast. That's the difference with the online.
That was the fastest final table I've ever seen. People were making lightning speed decisions for tens of thousands of dollars. It's just, wow, unbelievable.
That was weird. I got did you see what happened? All the recommendations that the YouTube has popped up, and somehow there's a lot of women. And I was women and chess. Now that I look back at it, what the fuck? What is going on YouTube and your algorithm?
Not a bad combination, I gotta say.
Women and chess, I have to say. I mean, I like both, so it's fantastic.
Exactly.
Could have been worse.
Yes.
So yeah, thank you, YouTube algorithm, for putting that bit of extra fun into the commentary. And guys, thank you for participating in the chat once again. Let's stick around for a couple minutes, give people a chance to still send me a DM or whatever, alert me to who you are on GG, and I'm just gonna reach out to you privately after the fact and let you know who's getting what. And the Rock Moon is saying that DNAG spilled the beans in the log today, that there's a possibility that United States players might be able to play poker again. What do you think about that? Did you hear anything about that? That's news to me.
I haven't heard anything about that, but that sounds like amazing news, and I would be extremely happy if that happens.
Yeah, wouldn't we all? Wouldn't we all? I mean, it would be a great day when that happens because, I mean, great day for poker, great day for Americans because the situation obviously sucks, but I have no news about it. I don't know whether there's any truth to what Daniel is saying. I'm a bit surprised if that happens.
Yeah.
I mean, if that happens in a short time frame, if that happens one day, I wouldn't be surprised one bit because it's bound to happen. But, is it really happening?
I don't see a reason why not, but...
yeah. Well, actually,
hopefully
it might happen
later.
The election is coming. Maybe that's the trump card for Trump, it's, or Kanye. Maybe Kanye wants to push it. I don't know. One of the candidates maybe thinks like poker is gonna bring back the poker to people. That's what people are missing. So I can definitely get behind that sentiment. So go ahead and bring the Americans back to the world of poker. Anyway, Schuler, it's been a pleasure. Really, once again, I have to say thank you for busting out of the tournament because, I really, really enjoyed commentating together with you.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting me. It's been a lot of fun.
Absolutely. What a fun event and great format. Great stuff by GG Poker providing us with the Cards Up feed. Wow. This is fun. So yeah,
that was new. I'm definitely looking forward to doing more of this type of stuff.
Absolutely. Me too. And I'm going to be doing a few more events. I'm going to post a schedule somewhere, well, probably on Twitter. And you guys will be kept posted about it. And of course, we're going to put the highlights and potentially more of the footage on YouTube. So, people who were sleeping or working or doing something, they're going to be able to catch up because there was a lot to catch up with. It was a fun final table. And, if the other events are going to be even a fraction as fun, then this is going to be a great series.
Yeah, this has been awesome. Hopefully the other ones will not disappoint either.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you all. And like I said, for the tickets, I'm going to reach out to you personally. And there are some tickets coming your way. If you're still listening, it might be actually coming your way. And, I'll let you know soon enough. Anyway, I'll see you all next time. That's it from me. And Schuler, once again, thank you so much. And I hope we do it again one day.
Of course. I'll see you later.
Awesome. Good stuff. Well, good night. Good night to you guys in the chat, and good morning to my fellow Europeans, most of whom are still probably sleeping. All right. Yeah. We'll see you next time, guys. Bye.